So it's been fun.
Yes, I see you've made some changes there in your little office out the front.
Yeah, we've done a couple of things, got some banners up. So it's been good.
Exciting. So cool. Any other exciting news I've missed out since I haven't been here for the month? I've been watching you guys live streams. So for you guys that don't know, I haven't been here for a month. I had a knee operation, so I had a knee surgery. So I took a month off work, which is pretty exciting. I spoke with one, maybe two customers the whole month, which is good.
You've been wanting some time off.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So what have I missed out, Ayden?
I finally got solar on my own roof.
It's very exciting. How long have you worked in the solar industry?
Almost 5 years.
And you've only just got solar, hey?
Yeah. Giving everyone else solar.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is. It's very exciting. Can't stop watching it.
We're going to bring up your systems today and have a talk about it. It's addictive, isn't it?
It is. It is.
You normally watch your customer system as much as your own system?
Almost.
So I always like to tell people when they get solar, it's like be careful how addictive it is. So yeah, work in the industry for 5 years, and not actually having your own solar, did you realize, like, since you've got how addictive it can be watching it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing when a customer system goes in for the first time, especially when we've designed and installed a system that we've never done before. It's pretty exciting to watch it perform and see I've designed it and doing what it's doing. So yeah, exciting. All right, so let's show everyone your system. And today, guys, so we're going to be talking about Aircons Off Grid. It's a very common thing we get asked, how to run aircons and stuff like that off grid. So, and it's really actually easy to do. It just takes a bit of knowledge and stuff like that. So we'll jump over and let's show Ayden's place. I'll share my screen here. Where are we? The Solar Edge dashboard. So Ayden, tell us about your system. Like, what do you got?
All right, so I actually have 32 REC Alpha panels. They're 440 watts.
So tell us about the Alpha. What makes them so special?
So the Alpha uses a thin film technology as well as the monocrystalline. So you get some benefits such as increased performance in hot weather, increased shading tolerance to a degree since it still has a monocrystalline. They are a split cell, so you still lose half the panel if half gets shaded.
It's funny that solar panels actually don't like it when it gets hot.
Yeah, it's funny. That's why the thin film technology is amazing in Australia. It's bloody hot. And they just get better and better. So.
That's it, yes. Unfortunately, we can't hold thin films here in Australia anymore. So maybe REC is going to make us a thin film. Maybe.
Hopefully, putting it out there.
I'm very excited about my next house. I'm definitely going to be putting the new REC Alpha, which are lead-free, which I'm pretty pumped about. I love the REC panels. I think they're great. So my forever home, I'm pretty confident we're going to live with REC forever. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So tell us what's going on in this picture, Ayden.
All right. So that's my daily production graph. So red is consumption. It's what energy I'm using.
So the night there, using about 300 watts.
Yeah, bugger all.
Sun comes up.
Sun comes up. So the blue right down the bottom is what I'm using directly from the solar. It's self-consumption. And the green is everything that's going out to the grid.
So what happened here?
So I shut it down and it was playing with a few things. So that was just me messing with it. But so as you can see, more solar than I need. But that's how I wanted to do it. And see, towards the end of the day, I cranked the aircons up. So there's the spikes.
Yep. So this here, you've turned the aircons on. It's pulling about 3 kilowatts.
Yep.
Cool. So when you say aircons, what sort of aircons? Tell us the size of the aircons and the brands.
All right. So the new aircon that I've just installed in my bedroom is a 3.5 kilowatts cooling capacity Mitsubishi inverter technology aircon.
How many watts would that pull?
I think it pulls about 880 watts when it's running flat out.
Yep.
So nothing. And the aircon in my lounge room is a little bit older, but it's still an inverter technology aircon. It's an LG brand.
How old do you think that is?
I reckon it'd be probably only be 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, okay.
Looking at it, and they still do the job. Yeah, I crank both of them up, and it manages to cool down my entire house, which is quite a large space. So, yeah, they've done well.
Exciting. Okay, cool. So, yeah, and so the red here is where you're getting into, using the grid. You're not getting your solar anymore.
Yep, that's
And
it.
the aircon's still cranking. Cool. So from an off-grid point of view, so basically if you think about it here, so literally in an off-grid point of view, the customer's going to be consuming from solar panels here, and when it hits red, it's going to start taking from batteries.
Yep.
Yep. So if you're off-grid and you had batteries, at this point in time, if you're running the aircon, you're taking it from batteries, yeah?
That's it.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a catch-22, isn't it, trying to run an aircon overnight? And if you have a look at the time, so pretty much you'd be fully on the batteries at about quarter to... Wow.
Yeah, right about.
Yeah, so... But you're still doing, at 6 o'clock, you're still doing 863 watts. And so was this Monday the Daylight Savings Day?
This was Monday.
Okay, so this is this Monday just gone. Okay, yeah. So we're in daylight savings. Yeah, cool. So done. Yeah, okay, cool. So in this time of year, run the aircon. So yeah, pretty much if you were just running one aircon in your bedroom, just think about in the bedroom, or even if just the one in the lounge room, you'd still be on it self-consumption, right? Yeah, both going.
Still be
self-consuming
self-consuming.
batteries. So you wouldn't be into your batteries just yet. Now, the other question we get is the window rattlers. Back to back, how efficient they are. Now, the one I've got at my place, that Lennox brand, it pulls about 500. I think it's a 5 kilowatt cooling capacity window rattler, and it only pulls 500 watts. That's crazy. I was blown away how energy efficient it is, which is pretty crazy. So when living off grid and trying to do aircon from batteries, the thing to think about is, look, the best money I always said anyone to spend is energy efficient appliances. Is actually probably the second best thing to spend. It's the best money efficient appliance. So if you've got a place, the best money spent is energy efficient appliances. Now, if you're designing, let's go to my place now. So we're going to use another day for my place. At the moment, I actually don't have solar. When am I getting a new solar system, Ayden?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Cool. So you booked the contractors in to do it tomorrow?
Yep, they're going to be there.
Pretty exciting. So, I will pump. So, I'll show you my, which is really irrelevant. But I just want to show you the solar point of view. So, see here from me. So I lose solar pretty much. We come here. I lose my solar production at 4 o'clock. I have no house activated. Now, because this is back to September. Let's actually jump back. Let's jump back last year, October. The long weekend, which is the same day. Let's up. What was going on that day last year? I have to renovate my house and do things different and things like that. So I'm losing a pretty good difference. No power there at 4:45, 2 kilowatt. Pretty much just drops off down to 1 at 5, 10 past 5. Yeah, I have no basically. I've no solar at my place. Now I want to show you one. I think this is why when you design a place, it's so much better to think about. Now the other thing is, see, we'll go back to Monday. You can see my usage this year. 2021, up we actually run the air conditioner. So why we didn't actually stay. Cool. We'll let that update. Something's gone wrong there. So basically, if you look at my place here, like, this is a solar system. This is a 13 kilowatt solar system. So we had 13 kilowatts of panels with about 10 kilowatts of inverters. Depends who's watching. I technically only had 9 kilowatts of inverters in RB for Ayden. I had 9 kilowatts of inverters, and I had about 13 kilowatts of panels. I had a few panels on the roof that shouldn't have been there. They're there for testing purposes, though.
Thrashing purposes.
Yes, exactly. But if you actually see my roof here and you see where I live, my house, the reason we don't get any sun, and this is a big advantage, and this is why external shading devices and things like be so beneficial, and the real difference between me. So how hot was it at your place that afternoon, like on Monday afternoon, Ayden? Like, was it still really hot, sort of 6 o'clock at night?
Outside, yes. Inside, it's nice.
Because you had the aircon cranking. So for me, for my place, I lose my solar. I don't have any solar production, but the other benefit is because I live here in the shade, typically my house, it's about 10 degrees. So if you're standing in the middle of my front yard, in summer of an afternoon, Ayden's place is about, I could almost fly the drone to your place. So you'd be what, 600 or 700 meters from me?
Yeah.
Let's call it a K. So we're literally a kilometre from each other. We're in the same spot. My house is normally in my front yard about 10 degrees cooler. So I give you an example. On a 40-degree day, if you stand in my front yard when the sun's not in the front yard, when the sun's gone, and it might be 40 degrees down at Ayden's place, but my place up here is 30 in the front yard because my whole place is shaded. Come 5 o'clock, in this daylight saving, my whole place is shaded. So I don't need to use my aircon in the afternoon because the sun's gone. It's done and dust. So I'm actually not doing it from batteries. So when you're designing and building your home off-grid, sometimes it's more important to think about that external shading, using trees, having things on the western roof to shade the property is actually more beneficial than trying to put a big solar system with batteries. So what do you reckon, Ayden?
Yeah, so being smart about when you're receiving shade and when the sun is hitting your house is quite essential in the design of these things. So say if you can figure out a way to, say, shade your roof or shade your house during summer, keep the sun from going directly onto any living rooms, windows, etc., but allow the sun to come in during winter. Say having a roof that tilts south means during summer the sun is directly over it, shading it. During winter, the sun is heating via transfer straight through your windows and the likes.
Yeah, coming through the big glass windows. So yeah, it's a bit like, I suppose my house, the other downside of my house is I'm cold in winter because I don't get the sun.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we use a lot more energy in winter, which is a lot harder to do. So in summer, we don't have to use our aircon as much. And the other thing that we do when we do use the aircon, I'll actually bring this up here. So this is my new solar system, which is pretty crazy. So how big is my new solar system, Ayden? It's going up.
It's about a bit over 30 kilowatts of panels, and
was it that much? I
thought it was 20. It was 25. 20,
yeah, cool.
25, and then 20 kilowatts of inverters. Yeah.
Cool. So we're trying out a new panel here, which is it's a glass-on-glass panel, which is pretty exciting. So we've been told it's meant to be amazing. And with the glass-on-glass panels, so basically you pick up the reflection from the roof to bounce back. And this is going to be really interesting in my place because I get shading here. And then late in summer, when the sun's setting over here, these panels will actually get sun coming through the back. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these glass-on-glass panels actually perform with my system, which would be really interesting. And Solar Alexa just crashed at the worst time. Refreshed it. Oh, here we go. We're back at my place. Here we go. 6th of October. That is actually today. So what was Monday? Monday, the 4th of October. So my hot water come on there. I don't know what else was on that time of day. But yeah, for us, we actually don't need to run the air conditioning, which is pretty awesome. So you can see here where Ayden's run the air conditioning and heating. We don't because we've got our house is so much cooler, which is pretty damn exciting with all that sort of stuff. So cool. So what's some other tips we could recommend people to do when trying to run Aircons off grid?
trying to run Aircons Off Grid, because it's all in thermal efficiency, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about during the day, sun's out, sun powers the aircon directly, cool the house down, and having a house that can actually maintain that temperature.
Yep, and look, that's the other thing I suppose for me. Like I know a lot of customers have tried copying what I do, but yeah, basically, I've got double glazing. I've got that shading in the middle of nowhere, and literally, I run my aircon of a day when we do need to run it, and overnight we don't need to run it. Basically, I think the longest we've ever run our aircon's about 6:45, because we just get that wind that comes through, and you're good to go. The other thing that I've found, and people either love this or hate this, is the dehumidify mode. So a little raindrop in the aircons that uses no energy. It uses very, very little energy to use a dehumidifier, but it's one of those things though, if it's not humid, it doesn't work. So it's got to be a humid day, otherwise you're wasting your time. And I think the numbers are, I think my house, my aircon does about 1,300 watts. Mine's a 7.1 kilowatt cooling capacity, and it does about 1,300 watts. And when the dehumidifier is on, actually pulls about 300 watts. So it's a lot less. So you're losing a kilowatt. So for people that are off grid, all these sort of things really add up. And so the other thing for my house, I'd be really interested this summer that hopefully the builder finishes it and it's sealed, because I've got the double glazing windows and things like that to see how much more energy efficient the house is with all that sort of stuff. So, because currently at the moment we have rooms with no windows in them, so the hot air just walks on in. So yeah, cool. So yeah, so it's just really thinking about when you use your aircon, isn't it? It's just trying to do as much as you can from your solar panels, and as little as amount from batteries, unless you're willing to spend. And so catch-22 is it's a catch-22 is either you put more batteries and you need more solar panels to charge the batteries, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So Emily's just asked the best investment: energy efficient appliances or thermal efficient home. What do you reckon, Ayden?
It does depend where you're starting. If you like retrofitting to make a thermal efficient home can be more expensive.
100%. Yeah, if you're retrofitting, and I've done 2 houses now, and I guarantee you that I would have been better off knocking both down and starting again.
Yes. So if you're starting from scratch, I reckon thermal efficient home is the best investment. If you're working with what you got and retrofitting, then stick to energy efficient appliances for sure.
Yeah, no, totally. So, and I suppose one really cheap fix that a lot of people don't give credit to is the building envelope, especially in summer, is doing your door seals and things like that. Like you really tell here in the shop, the doors that don't have good seals on them. You walk in the morning, especially I wear thongs, so I wear my Chinese safety boots here at work. But I can really feel the cold air fly under the doors in the morning because the seals are terrible. So things like that. And I reckon you could spend $50 to $100 at Bunnings and fix the building envelope of your house. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Anything else? Energy efficient appliances, the building envelope. If you're building from scratch, double glazing. And I suppose the last thing that you remember back in my house is just external shading devices, trees. In winter, you can use deciduous trees. I think a lot of people take for granted what trees can do and how fast they can grow, and how much of a benefit nature can give you. I know my house in Sydney, with the western wall, some running bamboo down the side of the house. It was in a bit of a concrete spot that couldn't get anywhere, and it changed their lives. So it kept the sun off that half of the house. I think it dropped the temperature of the house about 6 or 7 degrees just by having external shading device, which is the trees,
Awesome. Yeah, it's why we cut all the trees down out the front of my house. None of them were just.
Oh yes, yeah, some.
Yeah, it's they were shading me in winter and letting the sun in summer. So it's very counterproductive.
Yep, no, totally. Yeah, I don't think those campers were meant to be planted there in the first place, mate. So.
Mate, I'd love to get rid of them as well. But, that's council property.
So I don't think they were a strategic move though. So
no.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's really about it. And yeah, just if you get the chance to design your house, like I tell designers and architects, when anyone we ever talk to someone, I give a day's grace period. That's it. You've got 10 days a year that the house can be mechanically cooled or heated. Needs more than that, they want to go back and refix their design. That's how I sort of think about it. Because like energy efficient homes, really well designed. You don't need mechanical cooling, and then literally your solar system becomes lights, TVs, fridges. That's it. The basic stuff, and you can use. A well-designed house shouldn't need to be heated more than 10 times a year, basically my opinion. So, cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Any comments or questions, whack in below, and we'll get back to you next time. Thanks, and have a great day.